Hi there, this is K4A, Knowledge for All educational videos channel. We are continuing with learning Scratch and we are continuing with Scratch block tutorials. In this video today we are going to try to learn how and when to use backdrop number or backdrop name Scratch block. Okay, let's go to Scratch to see that in action. In last video I had some problems with improving our game so far, and that wasn't staged. I wasn't prepared for that, but good things come out of it. The first is that I have solved the problem very fast after I have finished the last video, literally a minute or two after that, and testing few more Scratch blocks, and whole thing worked well, but the bad thing is that you still haven't learned that Scratch blocks. So again, good thing is that we have something new to learn. So in short, I have solved that problem, and there is, here is some kind of solution, one of the solutions. As I said before, you can try and almost always you can solve some problem on so many ways. So if you don't like what I'm doing now, try to do it on your own. Maybe it will make more sense and logic. I don't have a problem with it, and probably in the long term, while we are making our games and tutorials, we are going to use different solutions to same kind of problems, which is cool and which is what programming is all about. Okay, back to our problem. Let's start our game. The problem is that what we have made on the first level on this boardwalk is that if I want my cat to go up in the air or on the sea, that's not possible anymore. Cat goes back every time, and no matter how long I press my up arrow, you can see that it changes to -30, but the moment I leave my key off, it goes back to -40. So we made that on purpose because we don't want our cat to go up in the sky or to walk on the sea. But the problem is when we go into some other levels like this, or maybe the third one, I want my cat, for example in this game, the one which I am making now, I want my cat to be able to go up in the more in the y-axis, more to go up and above, but this is not possible, and that's happening because we have tried to do it with this y position and set y2. Y position was checking where the cat is on the third level, and we then set maximum position of y with set y. But the problem is all of these three blocks of code, 1, 2, 3, and even this one here with the green flag, they are all working at the same time, and you can see that, and you can check that by looking at borders around them which are yellow. So for example, these blocks are not working now. They will work only if I press left and right. Let's see how the border changes around them. For a second into yellow, you can see this, but as we can see, these blocks here work all the time, 24/7, and some of them are contradictory. The first one says set y to -40, second level -20, and third one set 50, but they are working at the same time, and they're telling Scratch to do something different but at the same time, and the Scratch is confused. Simple as that. Scratch is confused and he doesn't know, should I set the y to 50, to -20, or -40. So we have to relax Scratch a little bit to make him more precise and more to make our code more logic to Scratch to understand, and that's what we are going to do in next few videos to solve this problem. And to do that, we have to start with some new blocks. One of them is one of the looks blocks. Those are indigo, second from the top circle, which says looks, and go to almost at the bottom and find costume number, or no, sorry, backdrop number. Yeah, we haven't I think we haven't explained costume number also, but let's for now stick to costume number, reset our game, and backdrop number, sorry, reset our game and zoom a little bit. Okay, so this is one of those oval blocks which we have explained earlier, and they cannot be snapped, they cannot be attached to other Scratch blocks like just like this up or above, but they can be snapped into some of the blocks which have white oval field, like this pointing direction, so I can put it here, or this set size, and so on. So those blocks are not meant to be used alone, but instead to put you're supposed to put them into these other blocks which have those white oval shapes, fields, which you can snap them into it. Okay, but first let's see what this block works. It says backdrop number, and if you have followed our tutorial earlier, you know that background for every Scratch scene is called backdrop in Scratch, and you can add them by clicking on this button here, top right, choose a backdrop. It will open a library of backdrop, and you can choose some backdrop, that means background for your game. Simple as that. Let's go back. So this field will tell me which number is my backdrop currently. If I click on it, it will probably say what? 1. Why is that so? Well, let's go. Let's click on this stage here, and then on backdrops here in the top left. And you can see that I have 3 backdrops in my game, and the first one is Boardwalk, and in the top left corner it says 1. So that is why my backdrop number Scratch block said 1. Let's go back to cat, to code, and click again. It will be 1 no matter how many times you clicked, because you're always at the same background. But let's do something simple, but just to test if this is working, and we will use it in more complex situations and examples later. But for now, let's just say this. I want my cat to tell me on which background, on which backdrop she is right now. How to do it? I want her to tell me. That means use the look block say, and you can see that this say block, so click and drag this say block from the left to the right if you don't have it already on the Scratch coding window, and then click on this backdrop number and attach it into this field, and this is what we are going to use. Other than this number, we also have name, but let's first try to test with number. Okay, I'm going to attach this new block where I want my cat to be able to tell me that all the time, in every possible minute or second of our game. That means it has to be in this forever block, so I will attach it somewhere there. But where? Currently I have this say Y position. So instead of saying Y position, I want my cat to say my backdrop number. So just detach this say Y position and attach this say backdrop into this else forever, then if else field, if you have followed me. If you didn't, just attach it somewhere in the forever block, but you have to worry and check if you maybe have some other say block. If those two conflict, you have to find out where the problem is. If you're following my tutorial, then no problem. So let's start the game, and from the start cat says 1, that means we're on the first background. Let's go into the, on the second background, second level, to see if it changes. Yeah, cat now says 2. Now let's see into the 3. Third level, yeah, it says 3, and so on. 1, 2, 3. Great. This looks kind of boring and stupid and too easy, because we're not using this for more complex, some complex game or complex stuff. We will use that very soon in next few videos, don't worry. But for now, just concentrate that you can use this backdrop number field, which we have just used it here, to see where your character is and to use it to attach it into some other fields, and that's how you can make new decisions, new blocks usages, and so on. So you can, in every moment of your game, you can use or know where your character is on which backdrop, or how that backdrop is called, and then make some other more complex decision. Let's just try for a second or two. Instead of say backdrop number, say backdrop name, and yeah, it works. Cat is now on the boardwalk, then on the level concert, then on XY grid, and so on. It goes in loop. So this works fine and nice, and it was really fast to test it. And as I said, we are going to use it, don't worry, in next few lessons in more complex way, and you can, in meantime, you can try to experiment with it for your games and to try to find some other usage for it for yourself. That's it for this lesson. Thanks for watching it, and I hope I will see you next time. In meantime, you can scratch for yourself and try to make some better games, more interesting, fun to play, and share your knowledge with others. Bye for now.